Hola. This is part three of what I was explaining about why people don't like Halo. The first two vids were about people who hate Halo who have never given it a chance, and people who hate Halo just because they suck at it. This time I'm talking about something a bit more deeper and serious. This is the modern warfare age, where games such as Battlefield, Medal of Honor, Call of Duty Black Ops, every game seems to be modern political field warfare zones. And it's to be expected, In the 80s there was an influx of sci-fi games because this was like the sci-fi age. In the 80s it was like that groundbreaking technological age and everything like that. And we were really seeing what we could do as far as technology goes. So you had a lot of sci-fi games, then space games, and then in the 90s it became a bit more grounded because technology was no longer looked at as like this magical thing. It was looked at as what it was, science. So games kind of imitated that. But now, since we've been like in the 2000s, games are becoming increasingly more and more violent and realistic. And if that's your cup of tea, that's whatever. I'm a gamer, so I can understand to an extent. But I hate it when people attack Halo for not being that violent or that gory. A friend of mine, one of my best friends, who's in he's still in high school, and him and his PlayStation 3 fanboy get into a debate about 360 versus PlayStation 3. Okay, typical. The PlayStation 3 fanboy immediately points out Halo. Typical yet again. Not even thinking about all the other exclusives that we given them. Mass Effect, Bioshock, both were exclusives on 360 before we let them have it. Splinter Cell Conviction, which to me, I played Uncharted 2. Nowhere near as riveting or as psychologically exhausting as Splinter Cell. That is a fact. And Splinter Cell is a 360 exclusive. Bear in mind. For the time being. But yeah, and so he doesn't even, he looks past those games and immediately attacks Halo. Oh, you guys Halo, bright, colorful Halo. Shoot somebody, a little blood squirt, Halo. And then he goes on to say that God of War 3 was more realistic than Halo Reach. Because God of War 3, because he said that when you rip open a demon, the blood comes out. That makes no sense. So you're trying to tell me that a technologically sound super soldier, which that means that can actually happen. I can understand that happening. That's more science fact. There are great advancements in like weaponry and like armor now more than ever. So you're trying to say that that a soldier with green armor on, shooting a laser is less realistic than a mortal man climbing up the back of a Titan and ripping open a monster just because you can see the guts come out of a monster? Get out of here. Come on. No way. Not ever. It ain't realistic. Nuh-uh. That is hilarious. But then I thought about it. I was like, this is actually a conscious problem. I feel like this is like a problem in video games now. I applaud Bungie for not reveling in. Bungie's F for mature, really, honestly, only for sales. I never heard the F word once. All I heard the most was the S word. I mean, so it's not really a lot of bad language. There aren't any suggestive themes. You know, like what kid can't bring an alien game to the house? No aliens. Your uncle's an alien. What are you trying to prove? Come on. I mean, you know, like nobody cares about aliens. So it's not suggestive themes. You know, it's not like they're having like alien sex or anything like that. So I applaud Bungie for taking that rating just to get sales, showing a little bit of blood, but keeping its integrity as a game first, action first, gore later. Now this is me. I'm taking away from like Gears of War. You know, games I feel do have like kind of strong stories. You know, Gears of War is a solid story. I wouldn't say it's strong, but you know, games with like good gameplay stuff like that. You know, but games that, and I'm not taking anything away from, you know, God of War either. But games like that are just violent just to be violent. And then you think that Halo is inferior to those games just because it's not super violent. And the thing is that people are misconstruing super violent and gory with realistic. You know, yeah. Does that mean that Mortal Kombat is realistic? Because you know at the time it was, you know, banned and ostracized for its quote unquote realistic depiction of violence. But it was a realistic depiction. That doesn't mean that it was necessarily, you know, you can actually kick somebody in the shins and they throw up blood, because that's what Mortal Kombat is. And I think that a lot of games right now are the equivalent to Mortal Kombat as far as blood and gore goes. So like, to which Mortal Kombat isn't even that bad anymore. I never thought I'd be saying that. God, I remember when they were talking about that crap on the news. So it's like, and you know, I hate when people attack Halo for that. So you know, all in all, I just want to say, you know, if you have never played Halo, if you have never given Halo a chance, you cannot hate it. If you only hate Halo because you suck at it, you cannot hate it. And if you only hate Halo because it's not as realistic as, quote unquote, you know, as other games, meaning it's not gory, then you can't hate it. No one who has actually sat down and experienced Halo has not said it is not at least a good game. I really hope that this changes the thinking of people who watch it. The few views that I will get. If you hated Halo, I really hope you look at it again.